Hello and welcome to this one-to-many relationship. This is lesson 11. One user in this relationship can have one or more roles, but the role belongs to one person. Role belongs to user with a foreign key. So we use master table singular ID, for example, ID user underscore ID. So user has one bio, but he or she has many roles, and the role belongs to user. We have to add the has many ourselves. SQL and one-to-many relationships also involve user references when we generate our model. So Rails generate model, role, title, company, position ID are all strings, and user : references creates a reference ID in our role table. So we can migrate that with break-db migrate, and this creates the following migration. T.references user foreign key true creates the user ID column in the roles table, and create table is an active record method for table creation. It takes a block, as we've seen before. SQL and one-to-many relationships can also be referred to in the console. So we can look at our console, we can find user.first, and we can create a role. And the user.roles doesn't currently have any, but we can manually push this in to the user.roles array, our role, and then we can see that user.roles actually has a position or a role with an ID that is attached to it. We also see that the user ID is automatically changed to user ID 1 by this pushing. So use.roles equals roles can replace an array with a new array, and user.roles.clear sets the foreign key to null in the roles database. So that would break the relationship with the user. So we can use create and where also to scope our queries regarding the roles on the user to the user itself. Use.roles, as we've seen, we can replace the array with a new array. But we can also use myRoles, which would create a new method, a kind of personalized method on the user class, and we specify class name role to refer to the directly to the table or model that we want that method to call on. So here we can use user.first.myRoles now in order to query our database. So we can also specify dependent, and this is something to be carried out after we've destroyed a user. So if we set one, we have to specify the other dependents. So user has one bio, dependent destroy will completely destroy any bios on the user, so they won't be in the database. Alternatively, if we want to keep the data but we want to destroy the user, then we can use dependent nullify, which would just set the foreign key to null but won't destroy the role instance. The main difference between delete and destroy are that destroy runs any callbacks in the model, whereas delete will just remove any associated objects. So we can see in our console we've done user.find6, which is Bill Gates, and we've assigned it to a variable, and then we've called user.destroy. Now that has destroyed the bio that is associated, that's just completely gone, but the role has stayed in the database because we did nullify, and all it's done is taken away the user ID from that role, which is not necessarily something we'd want to do, really, because we would prefer that would be, for a cleaner database, that would be completely destroyed. But there are instances when we might want that. So one-to-many has many and belongs to. Those are the kind of two active record conventions or methods that we use to represent that relationship. Dependent we use to specify what to do to associated elements, and destroy ensures that all associated elements are deleted. On the other hand, if we want to leave an orphan's association, which you might rarely want to do, we can use nullify. Next time we're going to look at many-to-many relationships.